A spiritual breakthrough is a sudden, deep shift in your awareness, bringing you closer to understanding your true self and the world around you. It's not something that happens every day, but when it does, it changes everything. It's when you feel an undeniable connection to something larger than yourself, whether that's the universe, God, or the higher power you believe in. This experience can come as a moment of clarity, a deep sense of peace, or even a feeling of being guided by a force beyond your comprehension. The concept of a spiritual breakthrough isn't new, people have been experiencing it for centuries. In ancient times, many individuals felt this sense of transformation in their lives and believed they were receiving messages from the universe or a higher being. This communication can come in many forms, through dreams, synchronicities, or even a sudden, powerful insight. When these breakthroughs happen, it's like the universe is sending you a message, asking you to pay attention. These signs are often subtle at first, but once you start noticing them, you'll realize they've been there all along, guiding you. The key to this is to stay open and aware. The universe doesn't always speak in obvious ways, but when you learn to recognize the signs, they can lead you to a life filled with purpose, peace, and growth. The idea that the universe communicates with us through signs is deeply rooted in history. Socrates, one of the greatest philosophers of ancient Greece. Socrates was known for his wisdom, but he was also known for following his inner guidance, which he believed was a divine sign. This was not just a philosophical idea, it was a way of life for him. He claimed to hear a voice that would warn him when something was wrong. He followed this voice throughout his life and believed it kept him on the right path, often leading him to make decisions that others didn't understand at the time but proved to be right in the end. He was aware of the signs the universe sent him, and he followed them without hesitation. Similarly, in the 19th century, Thomas Edison had what we would call a spiritual breakthrough. Edison was known for his invention of the electric light bulb, but his success didn't come without moments of doubt and challenge. During one of his darker times, he experienced a series of dreams that showed him how to solve one of his most difficult problems. These dreams were not just random thoughts, they were messages, guiding him toward a breakthrough. Edison once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." But the real breakthrough came when he learned to trust the signs around him, which led him to the solution. Recognizing these signs and preparing for a spiritual breakthrough isn't always easy. It requires a shift in mindset, a willingness to see the world as a place filled with meaning and purpose. You might be wondering, how can I recognize these signs in my life? The first step is to slow down and pay attention. In today's busy world, we often rush through our days without taking a moment to notice the little things around us. Yet, it is in the quiet moments, the small things, that the universe speaks the loudest. It could be a phrase that someone says to you, a certain pattern in your dreams, or an unexpected event that seems to have deeper meaning. One of the most powerful quotes that can help guide us in recognizing signs comes from the great spiritual leader, Rumi, who said, "When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about ideas, language, even the phrase each other, no tracings of the self remain." This suggests that, in moments of quiet stillness, we become more attuned to the signs the universe is sending us. By cultivating mindfulness and presence, we create the space needed for the breakthrough to happen. As you begin to recognize the signs in your own life, know that you are preparing for positive change. You are ready to step into a new chapter of growth, transformation, and deeper connection. Your spiritual breakthrough may be closer than you think, it might just be waiting for you to notice the signs. So, stay aware, stay present, and trust that the universe is guiding you toward the life you're meant to live. Sign 1. Increased intuition, trusting your inner wisdom. Intuition is the quiet voice inside you that always knows the right path, even when your logical mind is unsure. It's that sudden, almost inexplicable sense of knowing something without needing proof. This heightened intuition is often one of the first signs that a spiritual breakthrough is occurring. You might find yourself feeling deeply certain about a decision or direction in life, even when there's no obvious reason for that certainty. It's like a shift happens within, where you feel guided by an invisible force. Increased intuition often shows up in your life as moments of sudden clarity. Imagine being at a crossroads in life, unsure about whether to take a certain job, move to a new city, or end a relationship. Suddenly, without any external reason, you just know. There's no debate, no weighing pros and cons. You simply feel drawn in one direction, as if the decision has already been made for you. One example of this comes from the story of Joan of Arc, the 15th-century French heroine who led her army to victory. Joan's life was filled with moments of heightened intuition. At just 13 years old, she began hearing voices and receiving visions, which she believed were messages from saints guiding her to help France. These visions gave her the courage to approach the Dauphin, the future King Charles VII, despite the fact that no one else believed she could lead an army. Her intuition told her that her mission was vital, and she trusted it. Even in the face of doubt and opposition, Joan followed her inner knowing, and her victories became legendary. Similarly, in the 19th century, Carl Jung, the famous psychologist, had profound insights into the human mind and spirituality. Jung spoke of a deep inner wisdom, a connection to the collective unconscious that transcends logic. He once said, "Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside, dreams, who looks inside, awakes." Jung's work emphasized that by trusting our inner guidance, we can access a wisdom far greater than what we can logically comprehend. When your intuition speaks, it's essential to trust it. One of the hardest parts of living intuitively is overcoming the doubt that often creeps in. We might second-guess ourselves, asking, "What if I'm wrong?" But the truth is, the more we ignore these gut feelings, the harder it becomes to recognize them in the future. The key is to respond with confidence. When you feel that sudden knowing, honor it. Take action based on that clarity. If you feel guided to make a big decision, even if it feels risky, trust that your intuition knows the way. If you need to make a life change, whether it's pursuing a new career, moving to a new place, or simply saying no to something that doesn't align with you, listen to that inner voice and take the leap. A powerful way to strengthen your intuition is through mindfulness. By slowing down and paying attention to the present moment, you can better hear the subtle whispers of your inner guidance. Quiet your mind through meditation or deep breathing, and allow your feelings and insights to come through without judgment. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes to distinguish your true intuition from your fears or desires. Rumi once said, and I quote, "Let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray." This reminds us to trust the quiet pull of our hearts, even when we can't logically explain it. Paramahansa Yogananda, the great spiritual teacher, also emphasized this trust in our inner guidance. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. His words remind us that intuition is a sacred part of who we are, and we must not dismiss it in favor of only rational thought. When your intuition rises, it's a powerful sign that you're being guided towards something greater. Trusting your gut and following through with these insights can lead to moments of profound clarity and growth. Remember, the more you listen to your inner voice, the more you'll strengthen your connection to that wisdom. So, the next time you feel that inner pull, embrace it. Trust yourself, and let your intuition guide you to where you're meant to go. Sign 2, Heightened Emotional Sensitivity. Heightened emotional sensitivity is a powerful part of a spiritual breakthrough. It's when your emotions feel more intense and alive than usual, like your heart is more open, and everything around you feels deeper. You might suddenly feel joy, sadness, or empathy in ways that seem out of the ordinary. These emotional waves can come unexpectedly and might leave you feeling vulnerable or overwhelmed. But this intense sensitivity is a sign that you are spiritually awakening, and your connection to the world around you is growing stronger. It's common to experience unexplained tears or sudden bursts of joy. One moment, you might be in a crowd, and you feel a deep wave of emotion that brings you to tears, even if nothing obvious has triggered it. The next moment, you might feel a rush of happiness, a sudden realization that life is beautiful, and you are exactly where you need to be. This emotional sensitivity can also show up as heightened empathy toward others. You may find yourself feeling deeply moved by other people's pain or joy, almost as if you are experiencing their emotions yourself. You might feel compelled to help someone you don't even know or be so deeply affected by the pain of others that it brings you to tears. One beautiful example of heightened emotional sensitivity comes from the story of Florence Nightingale, the founder of modern nursing. In the 19th century, Nightingale's compassion and deep emotional sensitivity led her to dedicate her life to caring for soldiers during the Crimean War. Her ability to feel the suffering of others led her to improve conditions in hospitals and reduce the death rate among wounded soldiers. Her emotional sensitivity wasn't just a gift, it was a calling. Florence once said, and I quote, "I am not afraid that I am going to make mistakes, I am afraid of not making mistakes." This quote shows that her emotional connection to those she cared for was so strong that it drove her to take bold actions, despite the challenges. Another striking example comes from the life of Mother Teresa, known for her work with the poor in Kolkata, India. Her profound emotional sensitivity to the suffering of others led her to dedicate her entire life to serving the poor and the dying. She often spoke of feeling the pain of others deeply, saying, "Not all of us can do great things. But we can do small things with great love." Her heightened emotional sensitivity allowed her to see the world through the eyes of the most vulnerable, which fueled her tireless work. When heightened emotional sensitivity arises, the most important thing you can do is allow yourself to fully experience your emotions. It might feel overwhelming, but resisting these emotions can block your growth. Instead, let yourself feel deeply, whether it's joy, sorrow, or empathy, and know that it's a natural part of your spiritual awakening. You don't have to hide or suppress these feelings. In fact, processing your emotions in a healthy way will help you release any buildup of energy and create space for further spiritual growth. When you feel sad, let the tears come. When you feel joy, allow yourself to celebrate it. Don't rush to fix the emotions or push them aside. Instead, sit with them and reflect on where they are coming from and what they are teaching you. One way to help process these emotions is through journaling. Write down your feelings, even if they seem confusing or unexplainable. Writing allows you to understand the deeper layers of your emotions and see them from a new perspective. Meditation is another powerful tool for processing emotions. By simply sitting in stillness and focusing on your breath, you can allow your emotions to rise and fall without judgment. You can also practice empathy toward yourself. Just as you feel for others, give yourself the same compassion. Take care of your emotional health by seeking support when needed. Talk to a friend, spend time in nature, or engage in activities that help you reconnect with your inner peace. Heightened emotional sensitivity is a beautiful aspect of spiritual awakening. It's not something to fear, but rather something to embrace. Your emotions are guiding you toward deeper self-awareness and understanding of the world around you. By allowing yourself to feel fully, without judgment or resistance, you invite healing and growth into your life. Remember, just as the ocean has waves that come and go, your emotions too will ebb and flow. Let them be the markers of your growth, and trust that each emotion you experience is taking you one step closer to a deeper connection with your true self. Sign 3: Synchronicities and Meaningful Coincidences. Synchronicities are moments when events or patterns in your life align in a way that feels too perfect to be a coincidence. These seemingly random occurrences, like seeing the same number repeatedly or running into someone at just the right time, often carry a deeper meaning, guiding you towards something important in your journey. At first glance, these events might seem like simple coincidences, but to those who are spiritually awakened, they are seen as messages from the universe or signs of alignment. For example, you're thinking about a person you haven't seen in years, and then, the very next day, you run into them on the street. Or perhaps you're considering a big decision in your life, and suddenly, you keep seeing the same number, like 1111, everywhere you look. These synchronicities aren't just random, they are moments of divine timing, showing you that something greater is at work. The universe, in its mysterious ways, sends these signs when you're in alignment with your higher self. It's like receiving a nudge from the universe, telling you that you're on the right path or that you need to pay attention to something specific. It's as if the world is speaking to you in a language beyond words, through events, people, and patterns. Throughout history, many great minds have experienced profound synchronicities, showing that these moments are not just coincidences but deeply meaningful. Carl Jung, the renowned Swiss psychiatrist who first coined the term synchronicity. Jung experienced many meaningful coincidences throughout his life, and he believed they were not random. One famous incident involved a patient of his who was struggling with a deep psychological block. Jung was trying to help her find clarity when, one day, the patient told him about a dream in which a golden scarab, a type of beetle, played a prominent role. Just as she shared this dream, a real-life golden scarab flew into the window of Jung's office. This was no random occurrence for Jung. He saw it as a meaningful sign, a synchronicity that connected the patient's inner world with the outer world in a profound way, signaling that healing was on the way. Another striking example comes from the life of Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple. Jobs often spoke about how his path was shaped by moments of synchronicity. One famous story is how he stumbled upon a calligraphy class at a college he had dropped into by chance. This class, which seemed completely unrelated to his career, ended up influencing the design and aesthetic of Apple's products years later. Jobs described this experience as a perfect example of how seemingly random events can weave together into something meaningful. When you start noticing synchronicities, it's important to pay attention and seek the deeper meaning behind them. These moments are often the universe's way of guiding you toward growth, self-discovery, and life-changing decisions. Here are a few ways to respond to these meaningful coincidences. When you notice synchronicities, take a moment to be present and fully aware of the moment. Ask yourself, what is this trying to tell me? Why am I seeing this now? Often, the message will become clearer the more you sit with it. Synchronicities often come when you least expect them, and they may challenge your sense of timing. Trust that everything is unfolding as it should, even if it doesn't make sense in the moment. If you notice a pattern or connection emerging, don't be afraid to follow the trail. Whether it's a series of events, people you keep meeting, or patterns in your thoughts, follow where these synchronicities lead you. Often, they are guiding you towards something greater, whether it's a relationship, career change, or personal insight. Express gratitude for these synchronicities. They are reminders that the universe is working with you, not against you. Ralph Waldo Emerson, the great American philosopher, once said, "Once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen." This quote beautifully captures the idea that when we are aligned with our true purpose, the universe begins to support us in ways we can't always explain, sending synchronicities as signals of confirmation. Paulo Coelho, the Brazilian author of The Alchemist, also spoke about synchronicity in his writing. He said, "When you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it." Coelho's words remind us that these synchronicities aren't random. They are the universe's way of guiding us toward our deepest desires and fulfilling our soul's mission. Synchronicities are not just chance occurrences, they are signs, woven into the fabric of your life, leading you toward greater understanding and spiritual growth. When you notice these meaningful coincidences, take a moment to reflect and ask yourself what they might be guiding you toward. The universe is speaking to you in its own way, offering you glimpses of the bigger picture. As you embrace these synchronicities and follow the patterns, you'll find that life becomes more interconnected, and everything begins to fall into place. Trust the process, be open to the signs, and know that you are always being guided toward what's best for you. Sign 4, Unexplained Restlessness, the Call for Change. Unexplained restlessness is a feeling that arises when you're suddenly filled with the urge to make a change in your life, but you can't quite put your finger on why. It's as if an invisible force is pushing you to do something different, to shift your routine, or even to change your environment, yet the reason for it isn't clear. This inner restlessness is often a signal from your spirit, urging you toward transformation or growth. You might find yourself feeling an intense need to move to a new place, change jobs, or simply alter your daily habits, without a logical explanation. It's not just a fleeting thought, it's a deep, persistent feeling that something needs to shift. This restlessness can feel uncomfortable, as if you are not where you're supposed to be, but it's often a precursor to a breakthrough, a signal that something new is waiting for you. In the early stages of a spiritual breakthrough, this restlessness can manifest as a powerful desire to leave behind old patterns or environments. You may feel drawn to make changes that, at first, seem impulsive or unexplainable. But trust that this urge is often the soul's way of prepare. Many individuals throughout history have experienced moments of unexplained restlessness, which later turned out to be crucial turning points in their lives. One of the most famous examples is the story of Abraham, the biblical figure who was called by God to leave his homeland and embark on a journey into the unknown. At a time when everything seemed stable, Abraham felt an intense urge to move, even though he didn't know exactly where he was going or why. He trusted the inner call to leave everything behind, and in doing so, he started a new chapter that would change the course of history. In more recent times, the great writer Leo Tolstoy experienced a similar feeling of restlessness. In the middle of his life, after gaining fame and fortune from his novels, he suddenly felt an overwhelming desire to abandon his wealth and title to live a simpler, more purposeful life. This urge came without clear reasoning, but Tolstoy acted on it. He left his luxurious lifestyle behind and spent the remaining years of his life seeking meaning and living in a way that aligned with his growing spiritual beliefs. His deep restlessness led him to personal transformation and spiritual awakening, which eventually influenced his writings and philosophy. If you're feeling this unexplained restlessness, don't ignore it. It's your soul calling for change. Here's how to respond when you feel the urge to make a shift, but aren't sure why. Acknowledge the restlessness. The first step is to recognize and accept that you're feeling restless. It's okay not to know why you feel this way. Sometimes, just acknowledging that you're ready for something different can begin the process of transformation. Take a step back and assess the areas of your life that might need change. Are you unhappy in your job? Are there relationships or routines that no longer serve you? Unexplained restlessness is often a call to examine your life and identify where you might be out of alignment with your true self. Listen to your intuition. When you're feeling restless, it's important to listen to that inner voice that might be pointing you in a new direction. Maybe you feel a sudden urge to move, take a break, or explore something you've never considered before. Trust your instincts and explore these new desires, even if they seem unconventional. Take small steps. You don't have to make dramatic changes all at once. If you're feeling the need to change jobs or move to a new place, take small steps toward that goal. This could mean researching new opportunities, connecting with people in different places, or simply allowing yourself time to explore new passions or hobbies. Be patient with yourself. Transformation doesn't always happen overnight, and restlessness often signals that change is on the horizon, but not necessarily immediately. Give yourself permission to feel unsettled and uncertain without rushing the process. Allow the changes to unfold naturally as you explore new possibilities. Rainer Maria Rilke, the famous poet, once said, "You must change your life." This simple yet profound statement speaks to the deep urge to shift your life in a way that aligns more with your inner truth. Sometimes, we don't know why we feel restless, but deep down, we know that change is needed. Eckhart Tolle, a modern spiritual teacher, says, "When you surrender to the flow of life, you step into the stream of consciousness that takes you where you need to go." This quote reminds us that restlessness is a sign to surrender and allow change to happen. Trust that the flow of life is taking you to where you need to be. Unexplained restlessness is not something to fear, but something to embrace. It is a signal that your soul is ready for growth, and the desire for change is a natural part of your spiritual awakening. Whether it's a new job, a move to a new city, or simply a change in your daily routine, trust that this restlessness is guiding you toward the next chapter of your life. By listening to your inner call and allowing yourself to explore the areas in your life that need transformation, you open yourself to new opportunities and deeper self-discovery. Let go of the need for certainty and allow the process of change to unfold naturally. Your restlessness is the universe's way of showing you that you're ready for something new, something that will bring you closer to the life you're meant to live. Sign 5, Dreams and Visions, the language of the subconscious. Dreams and visions have long been regarded as powerful messengers from the subconscious mind, and during a spiritual breakthrough, they can take on even greater significance. Vivid, symbolic, or recurring dreams often carry deep messages, insights into your life, your future, or unresolved issues that are asking for your attention. These dreams are not just random flashes of your mind at rest, they are often direct messages from within, pointing you toward understanding or transformation. When you experience dreams that feel unusually vivid or meaningful, it's as if your inner self is trying to communicate something important to you. You may dream about people or places from your past, or find yourself in strange, symbolic scenarios that leave you with a strong emotional response upon waking. These dreams, especially when they repeat, are trying to guide you towards something that you might not be fully aware of in your waking life. For example, if you keep dreaming about flying, it could symbolize your desire for freedom or a need to break free from something that's holding you back. On the other hand, if you dream of being trapped in a room, it may reflect feelings of limitation or fear in your current life. These dreams aren't just random thoughts, they are symbols and messages calling for your attention and reflection. Many great figures in history have experienced dreams and visions that helped shape their lives or even the course of history. One of the most famous examples is that of Martin Luther King Jr., the civil rights leader. King often spoke about the vision he had for a world where people of all races could live together in peace. His powerful vision came to him in a dream one night, which he later described as deeply guiding him in his mission for justice. He famously said, "I have a dream," and his dream wasn't just a hopeful wish, it was a vision that deeply inspired a movement and a nation. Another example comes from the life of Abraham Lincoln. Before the Civil War, Lincoln experienced a recurring dream in which he saw himself walking through the White House and encountering a sense of impending doom. In one version of the dream, Lincoln even heard someone say, "The president is dead." While he could not have known the specifics of the events to come, this recurring dream is believed to have foreshadowed the great loss his country would face in the wake of the war, including the ultimate assassination of Lincoln himself. These dreams weren't just figments of his imagination, they were powerful visions connecting him to the turbulent future. In a more personal example, Carl Jung believed that dreams were a window into the unconscious mind. Jung often experienced vivid dreams and visions, many of which were symbolic and guided his spiritual and psychological development. He viewed dreams as messages from a deeper part of ourselves, offering insight into our emotional and spiritual life. Jung once said, "The dream is the small hidden door in the innermost and most secret recesses of the soul." His work emphasized that we should pay attention to these symbolic images as they hold the keys to deeper understanding. When you begin to experience vivid dreams or visions, it's important to pay attention and actively work to decode their meanings. Your subconscious mind communicates through symbols, and these messages are often asking for reflection or action. Here's how to respond to your dreams. Keep a dream journal. One of the best ways to understand your dreams is to keep a dream journal. As soon as you wake up, write down everything you can remember about your dream, no matter how strange or fragmented it seems. Over time, you'll start to notice patterns or recurring themes in your dreams. Keeping a journal helps you track what's happening in your subconscious mind and can provide valuable insight into areas of your life that may need attention. Reflect on the symbolism. Dreams are often filled with symbols that represent deeper meanings. For example, dreaming of water might symbolize your emotional state, or a door could represent an opportunity or a new phase in life. Pay attention to the feelings you experienced during the dream as well. Were you anxious, joyful, or fearful? The emotions in the dream are often linked to its deeper meaning. Consider unresolved issues. Recurring dreams or unsettling visions may be pointing to unresolved issues from your past that need healing. If you keep dreaming about a particular situation or person, ask yourself if there is something in your waking life that remains unaddressed. These dreams might be encouraging you to face something difficult or let go of old emotional baggage. Take action when guided. Sometimes, dreams are clear in their messages and will guide you to take specific actions. If you dream about a new career or a move, consider if this is something that aligns with your waking desires or if it's pointing to an untapped opportunity. If you have a vision of a new path or purpose, don't ignore it. Take the first step toward what your dreams are asking you to pursue. Dreams and visions are powerful tools for spiritual growth. When you experience vivid, symbolic, or recurring dreams, recognize them as meaningful messages from your subconscious mind or the universe. These dreams can provide clarity, offer guidance, and help you face unresolved issues that may be holding you back. By keeping a dream journal and reflecting on the symbolism in your dreams, you open yourself to deeper insights about your life's path. Don't be afraid to explore these messages and take action if necessary. Your dreams are here to guide you, and by paying attention to them, you honor the wisdom within you. Sign 6, feeling disconnected from the material world. At times, during a spiritual breakthrough, you might find yourself feeling strangely detached from the material world around you. This feeling of disconnection is often a sign that your inner self is growing beyond the need for external validation, possessions, or the pursuit of status. The drive for material success or social approval no longer holds the same weight, and you may start to question the importance of wealth, status, or consumerism in your life. This shift can feel like a profound change, as if the things that once brought you joy or purpose, like shopping for the latest trends, accumulating possessions, or following societal expectations, no longer satisfy you. You may find yourself asking deeper questions about what truly matters. This detachment from the material world is a natural part of spiritual awakening, as you begin to focus more on your inner life, values, and spiritual growth rather than the external rewards that society often pushes. For example, you may no longer feel the need to chase after a promotion, acquire new things, or measure your worth based on what others think of you. Instead, you might feel a pull toward more meaningful pursuits, like personal growth, inner peace, and a deeper connection with your true self. This disconnection can feel uncomfortable at first, as society often defines success by material achievements. However, it's important to recognize this feeling as a sign that you are being guided toward a more authentic and fulfilling life. Throughout history, many notable individuals have experienced this disconnection from the material world, embracing a simpler, more spiritual way of living. One of the most famous examples is Gautama Buddha, the founder of Buddhism. Before his enlightenment, he was born into a life of luxury as a prince, surrounded by wealth and comfort. However, after encountering the realities of human suffering, he felt a profound sense of detachment from his material life. He abandoned his palace, leaving behind his riches and family, in search of spiritual truth. This decision led to his awakening, and he devoted the rest of his life to spreading teachings about how to free oneself from attachment to the material world. Another example is Francis of Assisi, the 12th century Christian saint who is often regarded as the patron saint of animals and the environment. Born into a wealthy family, Francis initially enjoyed a life of luxury and indulgence. However, after a spiritual awakening, he renounced his wealth and devoted his life to helping the poor and living in simplicity. He saw the material world as transient and believed that true happiness came from spiritual connection and selflessness, not from accumulating possessions. In more recent times, we can look at Henry David Thoreau, the American philosopher and writer who retreated to a cabin by Walden Pond to live a minimalist life. Thoreau famously wrote about his desire to live simply and authentically, away from the distractions of modern society. His experiment in living simply was a way for him to reconnect with nature and his spiritual self, free from the pressures of consumerism and societal expectations. If you're feeling disconnected from the material world, this is an invitation to explore a more minimalist and spiritually centered lifestyle. Here are some ways to respond to this shift. Embrace minimalism. Minimalism is not just about decluttering your physical space, it's about simplifying your life. Start by letting go of possessions that no longer bring value to your life. This could mean cleaning out your closet, selling items that you don't need, or reframing your relationship with material goods. By decluttering, you make space for the things that truly matter, like peace of mind, personal growth, and spiritual fulfillment. Shift focus to spiritual practices. Instead of seeking fulfillment through material achievements, focus on practices that nurture your soul. This could involve meditation, yoga, prayer, or spending time in nature. These practices help you connect with your inner self and the larger universe, shifting your focus from external validation to internal peace. Reevaluate your values. Reflect on what truly matters to you. Are you chasing external goals that society has defined for you, or are you pursuing what brings you genuine happiness and fulfillment? Ask yourself if the pursuit of material possessions is aligned with your core values. Often, when you begin to focus more on spiritual growth, the need for status and wealth fades, and a deeper sense of contentment takes its place. Live with intention. When you start to feel disconnected from the material world, it's a good time to live more intentionally. Instead of mindlessly going through the motions of daily life, make conscious choices that reflect your deeper desires. This could mean choosing to spend your time on activities that bring you joy, like creative pursuits, meaningful work, or helping others, rather than accumulating more things. Find fulfillment in relationships and experiences. Often, the material world distracts us from the true sources of happiness, connection with others and meaningful experiences. Focus on nurturing your relationships with family, friends, and your community. Invest time in experiences that enrich your life, like travel, learning, or volunteering. These experiences nourish your soul in ways that material possessions simply cannot. Mahatma Gandhi, the leader of the Indian independence movement, said, "Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever." Gandhi's words remind us that life is short and that true fulfillment doesn't come from the things we own, but from how we live, learn, and connect with others. Albert Einstein, known not only for his contributions to science but for his deep spiritual reflections, once said, "Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value." Einstein's words encourage us to seek fulfillment in what truly matters, personal growth, integrity, and contributing to the greater good, rather than pursuing success through material gain. Feeling disconnected from the material world is often a sign of spiritual growth, guiding you toward a more meaningful life. By embracing minimalism and focusing on spiritual practices, you can find deeper fulfillment and peace. This disconnection is an invitation to reflect on your values, let go of unnecessary distractions, and invest in experiences and relationships that bring true happiness. As you continue your journey, remember that material possessions and societal expectations are fleeting. The things that truly bring contentment, peace, love, growth, and connection, are found within. Trust that by following the spiritual path, you will discover a sense of fulfillment that surpasses anything the material world can offer. Sign 7. Physical symptoms without medical cause, the body's language in spiritual growth. Sometimes, during a spiritual breakthrough, you might experience physical symptoms that seem to have no medical explanation: aches, tingling, fatigue, or sensations of pressure or warmth in specific areas of the body. These physical sensations can be unsettling, especially when they don't appear to have a clear cause. It's as though your body is communicating something important, but it's not clear what it is at first. These physical experiences often occur as part of a spiritual awakening or transformation. It could be that the energy of your body is shifting as you move into a higher state of consciousness. For example, you might feel pressure on your forehead, sometimes referred to as the third eye area, which is often associated with spiritual insight and intuition. Other times, you may experience sensations in your chest, which could represent emotional healing or the opening of your heart center. While these physical symptoms can be discomforting, it's important to view them not just as physical problems but as signals that something is shifting within you, emotionally, energetically, or spiritually. The body often reacts to shifts in consciousness or emotional release by manifesting physical sensations. This is a way for the body to express what's happening beneath the surface. Many individuals throughout history have experienced unexplained physical symptoms during their spiritual journeys. One of the most well-known examples is Saint Teresa of Avila, a 16th-century Spanish mystic and theologian. Saint Teresa reported experiencing vivid physical sensations while in deep spiritual prayer, including extreme warmth and pressure in her chest. She even described a feeling of a divine fire coursing through her body. These intense sensations were not medical symptoms but part of her mystical experiences as she connected deeply with the divine. Another example comes from Ramana Maharshi, a spiritual teacher from India. Maharshi experienced sudden physical sensations during his spiritual awakening, including intense pain and pressure throughout his body. While he initially struggled with these sensations, he later realized they were part of his spiritual process, helping him transcend the ego and experience a deep, profound connection with the universe. He often advised others who were experiencing similar physical symptoms to accept them with patience and understanding, recognizing them as signs of spiritual evolution. In more modern times, Eckhart Tolle, a spiritual teacher, has spoken about how his own physical symptoms during his awakening manifested as a profound sense of inner pressure and heaviness in his body. He described this as a result of the intense release of past emotional baggage and egoic energy. These physical sensations were, in his words, part of the process of the ego dissolving and creating space for a deeper, more expansive consciousness. If you're experiencing physical symptoms without a clear medical cause, it's essential to respond with self-compassion and patience. The body is a powerful tool for processing emotions and energy, especially during times of transformation. Here are some steps to help you respond. Practice self-care. Your body might be processing deep emotional or energetic shifts. To support your physical and emotional well-being, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Eat nourishing foods, stay hydrated, and get enough rest. Physical symptoms can sometimes be linked to stress or exhaustion, so it's essential to rest and give your body the space it needs to heal. Meditation and breathwork. Meditation can help ease physical discomfort by calming the mind and allowing you to connect with your inner self. Breathing exercises, such as deep breathing or pranayama, can help release tension and bring more balance to your body. If you're feeling pressure in certain areas, try focusing your breath on those places and visualize healing energy flowing through them. Stay present with your feelings. Physical sensations often arise as a reflection of emotional or energetic blockages. When you feel an unexplained pain or sensation, instead of focusing on the discomfort, try to remain present with it. Ask yourself, what emotion or energy is this related to? Sometimes, simply acknowledging the feeling can bring it into balance. Energy healing practices. If the symptoms are persistent, you may find it helpful to explore practices such as Reiki, acupuncture, or other energy healing modalities. These techniques can help release blocked energy and restore balance to your body. Many people find that after such sessions, they feel lighter and experience a reduction in physical symptoms. Consult a professional. If the symptoms are severe or long-lasting, it's important to consult a medical professional to rule out any underlying health conditions. While these physical sensations may be linked to spiritual growth, it's always wise to seek a professional's advice if you have any concerns about your health. Swami Sivananda, a revered spiritual teacher, said, "The body is the temple of the soul." This quote reminds us that our physical body is a sacred vessel, and the sensations we feel in it are deeply connected to our spiritual journey. Instead of resisting the discomfort, we should honor the body as it processes and integrates spiritual growth. Experiencing physical symptoms without a medical cause during a spiritual breakthrough can be unsettling, but it is often a natural part of the transformation process. These sensations are your body's way of adjusting to the new energy, emotions, and consciousness that are awakening within you. Rather than trying to avoid or suppress them, embrace the process with patience and self-compassion. By practicing self-care, meditation, and seeking support when necessary, you can ease these physical symptoms and understand them as part of your spiritual evolution. Trust that your body is doing what it needs to do in order to support your inner growth and that these sensations are temporary. As you continue on your journey, the physical discomfort will subside, making way for a deeper, more expansive connection to your true self. Sign 8, Sudden Endings or Losses, Embracing the Path to New Beginnings. One of the most challenging aspects of a spiritual breakthrough is experiencing sudden endings or losses in your life. These can come in many forms: an unexpected breakup, a job loss, or the end of a friendship that once seemed stable. These moments can feel like a shock to the system, leaving you questioning what went wrong or why things are falling apart. However, during times of spiritual growth, these kinds of disruptions are often not just random or painful occurrences, they can be important catalysts for transformation. Endings, even if they seem harsh or unwelcome at first, often serve as necessary steps for personal evolution. When something in your life is coming to an end, it's as though the universe is clearing space for something better, even though you may not be able to see it yet. These moments of loss are reminders that change is a constant part of life, and sometimes, letting go of what no longer serves you is the only way to make room for new opportunities, growth, and blessings. You might find yourself suddenly ending a relationship that you thought would last forever or losing a job you thought was secure. These experiences can bring up feelings of fear, grief, or confusion. But, in the grand scope of your spiritual journey, these endings are often necessary for you to move forward on the right path. History is full of stories of individuals who experienced sudden, unexpected losses that led them to greater growth and new opportunities. One notable example is Oprah Winfrey, who faced a sudden and unexpected job loss early in her career. Oprah was fired from her job as a news anchor, a devastating blow at the time. However, this loss opened the door for her to pursue her true calling in talk shows, eventually leading her to become one of the most influential figures in media. In her own words, Oprah has often said that her setbacks were actually blessings in disguise, pointing her toward a path that truly fulfilled her purpose. Another example is J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. Before achieving fame, Rowling faced many personal and professional challenges, including the end of her marriage and struggles to find a publisher for her books. Despite these hardships, she continued to pursue her passion for writing, and the rejection letters she received became the stepping stones to one of the most successful book franchises in history. Her losses and setbacks didn't define her, they were part of the journey that led her to create something world-changing. The life of Nelson Mandela also provides a powerful example of how loss and separation can lead to profound transformation. Mandela spent 27 years in prison, during which he faced immense hardships and losses. Yet, his time in prison became the catalyst for a deeper understanding of himself and the world, and he emerged as a leader who brought about monumental change in South Africa. His personal loss became the foundation for a larger victory, not just for him, but for millions of others seeking justice and equality. If you're facing sudden endings or losses in your life, it's important to approach these moments with trust and patience. Although it may feel difficult or unfair in the moment, try to remember that these endings are not punishments, they are part of the natural flow of life, and they often lead to new beginnings. Here's how to respond. Acknowledge the grief. It's natural to feel sadness, fear, or frustration when something important ends unexpectedly. Allow yourself to feel these emotions without judgment. Grieving is a necessary part of the healing process. By acknowledging your emotions, you give yourself the space to heal and move forward. Reflect on the lessons. Every ending carries a lesson. Reflect on the situation and try to understand what it has taught you. Perhaps the end of a relationship showed you the importance of self-love, or losing a job made you realize your true passions. Even the most difficult endings hold valuable insights that can guide you as you move forward. Embrace new opportunities. When something ends, it creates space for new opportunities to enter your life. Trust that what is leaving is making room for something better, even if you can't see it right away. Take time to explore new interests, meet new people, and consider different paths. Embrace the unknown with curiosity, knowing that new beginnings often follow difficult endings. Let go with gratitude. It can be easy to hold on to the past, but sometimes, letting go is the best thing you can do for your growth. Try to release what is no longer serving you with gratitude. Even if a situation or relationship ended in pain, try to focus on the lessons it provided and the ways in which it helped you grow. Gratitude for the experience, rather than resentment, can help you heal faster and move forward with peace. Trust the timing, understand that life unfolds in its own time, and sometimes, what feels like a loss today is simply part of a greater plan. Trust that everything is happening as it should, and that this loss will eventually lead to something better, even if it doesn't make sense right away. Steve Jobs once said, "Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart." Jobs' words remind us that, at the heart of all endings is a new beginning. By letting go of what no longer serves you, you open yourself up to the freedom of pursuing your true purpose. Rainer Maria Rilke, the German poet, wrote, "Let everything happen to you, beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final." Rilke's words speak to the truth that everything, whether joy or sorrow, will pass in time. Endings are simply part of the flow of life, and we must trust that what comes after will bring us closer to our true selves. Sudden endings or losses are challenging and often leave us feeling confused or uncertain. However, these experiences are an essential part of the spiritual journey, as they create space for new opportunities, growth, and healing. When you face a loss or unexpected change, understand that it's not the end of your story, it's a transition, a turning point that is leading you towards something better. By embracing the process with trust, gratitude, and patience, you can navigate these transitions with grace. Remember, endings often precede new beginnings. Every time something leaves, it's making room for something more aligned with your true purpose and path. Trust that the universe is guiding you to the next chapter of your journey, even if you can't see it yet. The best is yet to come. Sign 9, New Opportunities Emerging, Embracing the Gifts of the Universe. One of the most exciting signs of a spiritual breakthrough is the appearance of unexpected opportunities and pathways in your life. After times of hardship or transformation, it often feels as though doors are suddenly opening, revealing new possibilities that you didn't see coming. These opportunities can range from a surprising job offer, a chance to travel, or even meeting someone who will play a significant role in your life. They are the universe's way of affirming that you're on the right path and that your spiritual growth is bringing you closer to your true purpose. At times, these new opportunities can feel like gifts, arriving at the perfect moment. It's as though all the work you've done on yourself, healing, growth, and letting go of old patterns, is now paying off. These unexpected events are a reminder that, when you allow yourself to be open to change and trust in the process, the universe will present you with the perfect situations to move forward. These new paths might feel exhilarating or even overwhelming, but they are signs that your journey is unfolding exactly as it should. While it's easy to become focused on the familiar or comfortable, embracing new opportunities during this time of growth is essential. They offer the potential for transformation, adventure, and deep fulfillment. History is filled with individuals who, at pivotal moments in their lives, seized unexpected opportunities that changed their trajectories forever. One such individual is Albert Einstein. Before becoming the genius we know him as today, Einstein was just a patent clerk struggling to find his place in the world. However, he received an unexpected opportunity when he was offered a university position, which allowed him to further explore his scientific theories. That seemingly small opportunity opened up the door for him to revolutionize physics and change the world forever. Maya Angelou, the beloved American poet and author, also experienced life-changing opportunities that appeared unexpectedly. After a troubled early life, she took a job as a streetcar conductor in San Francisco, where she was offered a chance to perform in a theater production. This opportunity led her to a career in performing arts, writing, and eventually becoming one of the most influential voices of the 20th century. Angelou's life is a testament to the power of saying yes when opportunities arise, even when they may seem unfamiliar or outside your comfort zone. In the world of business, Richard Branson is another example of someone who seized opportunities when they appeared. Branson started his Virgin brand with a small mail-order record business, but over time, he saw opportunities to expand into various industries, from airlines to space travel. Branson embraced these chances with enthusiasm and curiosity, and his willingness to step into the unknown has made him one of the most successful entrepreneurs of our time. When unexpected opportunities begin to appear in your life, it's important to respond with openness and readiness. You may feel hesitant or uncertain, but these moments of new possibility are invitations for growth and change. Here's how you can make the most of these opportunities. Stay open-minded. Often, the best opportunities come in forms that you least expect. You may not always recognize the potential at first glance, especially if the opportunity seems outside your current plans or comfort zone. Approach every opportunity with an open mind, and be willing to explore paths you may have previously overlooked. Trust your instincts. Your intuition is a powerful guide during times of change. If something feels right, trust it. If you feel a sense of excitement or inner alignment with an opportunity, even if it's unexpected, follow that pull. Sometimes, the universe presents us with opportunities that align with our deeper purpose, even when they don't look exactly as we imagined. Be prepared to take action. Opportunities often come when you're least expecting them, and they require you to be ready to act quickly. Be prepared by staying flexible and open to new possibilities. If an opportunity presents itself, take the first step, even if you're not sure of the entire path ahead. You don't need to have everything figured out immediately. Sometimes, taking that first step is all that's needed to create momentum. Embrace change and take risks. New opportunities often bring about change, and change can feel intimidating. However, it's important to see change as a necessary part of your growth. Don't be afraid to take risks and step outside your comfort zone. When you embrace change, you make room for new experiences, learning, and transformation. Gratitude and reflection. When new opportunities arise, take a moment to reflect on how far you've come. Express gratitude for the chance to explore new directions and trust that these opportunities are part of the divine plan for your life. This gratitude helps to align you with the energy of abundance and attracts even more opportunities to you. Steve Jobs also spoke about the power of opportunity. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. Jobs highlights that when you embrace the right opportunities, those that align with your passion, you will create work that not only brings success but also deep fulfillment. New opportunities that emerge during your spiritual journey are not just random events, they are part of the larger plan that the universe has for your life. These unexpected chances can bring profound change, growth, and fulfillment. When they appear, it's a sign that you are on the right track and that your efforts toward self-improvement and spiritual awakening are paying off. By staying open, trusting your instincts, and embracing change, you can make the most of these opportunities. Don't be afraid to take risks or step outside your comfort zone, because every new opportunity is a stepping stone toward a greater version of yourself. The universe is constantly presenting us with the chance to grow, learn, and expand, so stay ready to seize these opportunities as they come, knowing they are the keys to a richer, more fulfilling life. Sign 10. Increased inner peace and calm, finding stillness amidst the storm. One of the most profound signs of a spiritual breakthrough is experiencing an increased sense of inner peace and calm. This inner peace is not simply the absence of stress or difficulty, but a deeper state of tranquility and acceptance that remains steady even in the midst of life's challenges. As you progress on your spiritual journey, you may find yourself more grounded, centered, and capable of maintaining a sense of calm, even when external circumstances are chaotic or stressful. This peace often arises as a result of inner healing, letting go of past wounds, surrendering old fears, and releasing the attachments that once caused anxiety. As you begin to trust more deeply in yourself and the flow of life, you may notice that you can find calmness in moments where you once would have felt overwhelmed. You might experience this sense of peace while in solitude, enjoying quiet moments of reflection, or even in the midst of a busy, stressful environment, where you're able to stay grounded and unshaken. Inner peace brings clarity and a sense of balance, allowing you to navigate life's ups and downs with greater ease. It is a state of being where you can observe the world without being overly affected by it. This peace is not something that is externally imposed, but something that comes from within you, a natural state of harmony that arises when you align with your truest self. Many spiritual leaders and figures have demonstrated remarkable inner peace, even in the most chaotic and difficult circumstances. Mahatma Gandhi is one of the most well-known figures who embodied peace, even when facing immense personal and societal challenges. Gandhi led India through its struggle for independence from British rule, but despite the intensity of the political turmoil and personal threats to his life, he maintained a deep sense of inner calm. His commitment to non-violence and peaceful protest wasn't just a political strategy, it was a reflection of his spiritual belief that true peace can only come from within. Another powerful example is Thich Nhat Hanh, the Vietnamese Zen master and spiritual teacher, who spent years in exile due to the Vietnam War. Despite the chaos surrounding him, Thich Nhat Hanh remained a beacon of peace, teaching mindfulness and meditation to millions. His teachings emphasize the power of finding peace in the present moment and accepting life's natural flow. He once said, "There is no way to happiness, happiness is the way." This reflects his belief that inner peace comes not from avoiding difficulties but from embracing each moment as it is. Eckhart Tolle, the spiritual teacher and author of The Power of Now, also serves as a living example of someone who found profound inner peace after experiencing great personal turmoil. Tolle's story is one of awakening through deep inner stillness. He spent years in suffering and depression before a spontaneous spiritual breakthrough brought him to a place of profound inner peace. Today, his teachings focus on cultivating this inner peace by embracing the present moment and releasing identification with the mind's thoughts and judgments. If you are experiencing increased inner peace or a desire to cultivate more of it in your life, there are several practices you can use to nurture and deepen this sense of calm. The key is to create space within yourself for peace to naturally arise. Here are some ways to respond to this feeling of peace. One of the most effective ways to cultivate inner peace is through regular meditation. Meditation allows you to quiet the mind and center your awareness on the present moment. As you practice, you'll begin to notice that the peace you cultivate during meditation extends beyond the session and into your everyday life. Even a few minutes a day can help you feel more grounded and calm. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in whatever you are doing, without judgment. By bringing your awareness to the present moment, whether you're eating, walking, or simply breathing, you begin to align with a deeper sense of peace. Mindfulness helps you observe life without getting caught up in the emotions or stories your mind may create. It's about simply being rather than doing. Your breath is a powerful tool for calming the nervous system and finding inner peace. When you feel stressed or overwhelmed, take a few deep breaths. Focus on the sensation of air entering and leaving your body. Deep, slow breaths activate the parasympathetic nervous system, helping to relax the body and mind. Practicing conscious breathing can help you stay calm in moments of chaos. A significant part of experiencing lasting inner peace is letting go of attachments to outcomes, expectations, and material possessions. When you release the need to control everything, you open yourself to a flow of peace that is unaffected by external circumstances. Practice surrendering to the present moment and trusting that everything will unfold as it should. For many people, connecting with a higher power or engaging in spiritual practices is a way to cultivate peace. Whether through prayer, chanting, or simply asking for guidance, these practices create a sense of connection to something greater than yourself. This connection brings reassurance, comfort, and peace during times of uncertainty. Cultivating a sense of gratitude can help you shift your focus from what is lacking in your life to what is abundant. When you actively practice gratitude, you train your mind to see the beauty in every moment, which naturally increases your sense of peace. Take time each day to reflect on the things you are grateful for, and let that gratitude fill you with a deep sense of calm. Lao Tzu, the ancient Chinese philosopher, said, "Peace is the highest value. It is the natural state of the universe." Lao Tzu's wisdom reminds us that peace is not something we need to seek outside of ourselves, it is our natural state. By aligning with this truth, we can experience inner calm regardless of external circumstances. Pema Chodron, a Tibetan Buddhist nun and teacher, wrote, "You are the sky. Everything else, it's just the weather." This powerful statement encourages us to remember that we are not our circumstances. We are the vast sky of consciousness, and everything else, no matter how turbulent, is temporary, like the weather passing through. In this way, we can find peace even in difficult situations. Increased inner peace and calmness are some of the most precious gifts of spiritual growth. They allow us to move through life's challenges with grace and stability, rooted in the understanding that we are not defined by external circumstances. As you continue on your spiritual journey, remember that true peace is not about escaping difficulties, but about finding a sense of tranquility and acceptance within them. Through practices like meditation, mindfulness, and gratitude, you can continue to deepen your sense of inner peace, allowing it to guide you through every moment, no matter what comes your way. Trust that this peace is already within you, waiting to be accessed, and know that as you nurture it, it will grow stronger, bringing you greater clarity, purpose, and joy. Sign 11, a desire to give back, the call to serve and uplift others. One of the most beautiful signs of a spiritual breakthrough is the sudden and powerful urge to help others or contribute to the greater good of your community. This desire to give back often arises when you've experienced significant personal growth and healing. It's as if, once you've nurtured your own spirit and life, you begin to feel a deep longing to share your blessings and resources with others. Whether it's through volunteering, mentoring, or supporting causes, you find joy in lifting others up and being of service to the world around you. This desire to give back can take many forms. Some people feel called to offer their time to charitable organizations, while others may choose to mentor younger generations, offering guidance and wisdom gained from their own life experiences. You might also feel inspired to contribute financially to causes that align with your values, or even start a project to help those in need. Whatever the form, the act of giving back comes from a place of deep compassion, empathy, and a recognition that we are all connected. It's important to recognize that the urge to give back isn't about obligation, it's about fulfillment. Helping others often brings a sense of purpose and inner joy that can't be found through material possessions or personal achievements. It connects us to something greater than ourselves and reinforces the understanding that we are all part of a larger, interconnected whole. Countless individuals have answered the call to give back and make a positive impact in their communities, creating lasting legacies through their acts of service. One such individual is Mother Teresa, whose life was dedicated to helping the poorest and most marginalized people in society. Through her work with the Missionaries of Charity in Kolkata, India, she not only provided physical care to those in need but also offered spiritual comfort and love to those who had been abandoned by society. Mother Teresa's desire to serve others was not driven by personal gain, but by a deep sense of compassion and the belief that each person has infinite worth. Nelson Mandela, the South African leader who fought against apartheid, also exemplified a desire to give back to his country and the world. After spending 27 years in prison for his beliefs, Mandela emerged with a renewed commitment to reconciliation, equality, and justice. Instead of harboring bitterness or seeking revenge, Mandela dedicated his life to creating a more just and equitable society, proving that the desire to give back can transform not just individuals, but entire nations. Oprah Winfrey is another modern-day example of someone who has made giving back a cornerstone of her life. Through her philanthropic work and the founding of the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa, Oprah has provided countless young women with the tools and opportunities to break free from poverty and achieve their dreams. Her own personal success has fueled her desire to uplift others, and her generosity continues to inspire people around the world. These individuals, along with many others, have demonstrated that when we give back, we not only improve the lives of others but also deepen our own sense of fulfillment and purpose. Their stories show that service is not just an act of kindness, but a transformative experience that can change the world in ways we can't always predict. One of the most direct ways to give back is by offering your time to organizations or causes that resonate with you. Whether it's helping at a local food bank, supporting animal shelters, or participating in environmental cleanup efforts, volunteering allows you to make a tangible difference in your community. It's a powerful way to share your time and skills, while also learning more about the needs of those around you. If you've gained valuable life experiences or wisdom, consider mentoring others who could benefit from your guidance. Mentorship can take many forms, from helping someone navigate their career to offering emotional support during a difficult time. By sharing your knowledge and experience, you help others grow and succeed, while also strengthening your own sense of purpose. If you feel passionate about a particular cause, consider offering financial support or resources. This could be through donating money, providing goods, or organizing fundraising events. Even small contributions can make a big impact when pooled together with the support of others. If you're unable to give financially, you can also donate your expertise or time to help these causes thrive. Sometimes, giving back doesn't require grand gestures, it's the small, everyday acts of kindness that make a world of difference. Helping a neighbor, offering a listening ear to a friend in need, or simply being kind to a stranger can uplift others in ways that are deeply meaningful. Acts of kindness ripple through the world, creating a chain of goodwill that inspires others to do the same. If you feel particularly passionate about a specific issue or group of people, consider starting your own initiative. This could be anything from organizing community events to creating educational programs for underserved youth. Starting your own project can allow you to bring your unique ideas and skills to the table, creating lasting change in your community. Sometimes, the most impactful way to give back is simply by living as an example of love, compassion, and integrity. The way you live your life, your choices, actions, and attitude, can inspire others to do the same. By showing kindness, standing up for justice, and embodying your values, you help create a ripple effect that encourages others to contribute positively to the world. Albert Schweitzer, the renowned physician and humanitarian, shared, "The purpose of human life is to serve, and to show compassion and the will to help others." Schweitzer's words remind us that true fulfillment is found in service. Giving back isn't just a noble cause, it's an essential part of what it means to be fully human. The desire to give back is one of the most beautiful signs of spiritual growth. It reflects a shift from focusing solely on personal needs to recognizing the interconnectedness of all people and the world around us. When we give, we not only help others but also enrich our own lives by connecting to a greater sense of purpose and fulfillment. If you are feeling called to serve, take it as a sign that you are on the right path. Whether through volunteering, mentorship, or small acts of kindness, every effort counts. The universe will guide you to the right opportunities to make a positive impact, and in doing so, you'll find that giving back enriches your own life in ways you could never have imagined. Sign 12. Messages from nature, the wisdom of the earth. A truly transformative sign of spiritual growth is the sense of deep connection with nature. Whether it's noticing animals appearing frequently, observing unusual weather patterns, or simply feeling drawn to the outdoors, nature has a unique way of communicating with us. These subtle messages from nature serve as reminders that we are not separate from the earth, but part of a greater, interconnected web of life. Nature offers us lessons of patience, resilience, and balance, if we're open to receiving them. Many people experience moments where nature seems to speak directly to their soul, offering guidance or comfort in times of uncertainty. You may notice certain animals showing up in your life at pivotal moments, or you might feel a sense of peace when surrounded by trees, mountains, or bodies of water. Changes in the weather, such as an unexpected rainstorm or a sudden breeze, might feel significant, as if nature is mirroring your emotional state or sending a sign that change is on the horizon. Nature's messages are often subtle, requiring us to be present and mindful in order to understand their deeper meanings. Sometimes, the lesson is as simple as taking a pause to appreciate the beauty of a sunset or feeling the grounding energy of the earth beneath your feet. Other times, nature may reflect back to us our own emotions and desires, helping us see things more clearly. Many individuals have experienced moments when nature's messages were so powerful that they guided their decisions or helped them understand a deeper truth. One such person was Chief Seattle, the Native American leader, who spoke of the deep connection between people and the earth. He famously said, "All things are connected. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the children of the earth." Chief Seattle's words reflect the belief that humans are intrinsically linked to the natural world, and by understanding the messages nature offers, we can live in harmony with it. Another example is Henry David Thoreau, the American writer and philosopher, who sought solitude in the woods at Walden Pond. Thoreau believed that nature was a mirror for the soul, offering clarity and insight. In his book Walden, he wrote, "Heaven is under our feet as well as over our heads." Thoreau's time in nature was transformative, allowing him to reflect on his life, society, and the deeper meaning of existence. He found wisdom in the simplicity of nature, and many people still turn to his writings for inspiration on how to connect more deeply with the natural world. More recently, Jane Goodall, the renowned primatologist, has devoted her life to studying the behavior of chimpanzees and the environment. Through her work in the forests of Tanzania, she observed the intricacies of nature, witnessing firsthand how interconnected all living things are. Goodall's observations have shown us that animals, trees, and the land all play a role in our understanding of the world, and that the Earth's messages are often encoded in the behavior and patterns of its creatures. If you're noticing frequent messages or a strong pull to connect with nature, it's important to honor that call. Nature holds countless lessons that can help us navigate our spiritual path and deepen our sense of inner peace. Here's how to respond to the messages you may be receiving. One of the best ways to receive messages from nature is by immersing yourself in it. Take walks in the park, hike through forests, or simply sit by a river. Allow yourself to be fully present, leaving behind the distractions of daily life. The more time you spend in nature, the more attuned you become to its subtle signs. It's not about seeking answers, it's about being open to the experience and letting nature guide you. When you spend time outdoors, pay attention to the patterns that arise. Do you see certain animals more often, like a bird or butterfly? Each animal carries symbolic meaning, such as the owl representing wisdom or the deer symbolizing gentleness and intuition. Notice the weather patterns as well. A sudden rainstorm might represent emotional cleansing or the need for renewal. Take note of these occurrences and reflect on what they might symbolize in your own life. Sometimes, messages from nature come through when we ground ourselves in the earth. If you're feeling overwhelmed or disconnected, try walking barefoot on grass or sitting on a rock, allowing the earth's energy to connect with your own. Grounding helps restore balance and helps you feel more in tune with the natural world, which can make it easier to receive its messages. Consider developing a more intentional relationship with nature by creating a space where you can regularly connect. This could mean growing a garden, tending to plants, or taking up outdoor activities like hiking or camping. These practices deepen your bond with the earth, allowing you to feel more connected to the natural world's rhythm and wisdom. Nature has a way of amplifying our intuitive abilities. Trust the feelings that arise when you're outdoors. You may feel a sense of calm, a surge of inspiration, or a deeper knowing about a particular issue. Don't dismiss these sensations, listen to them. Your intuition often speaks through nature, guiding you toward the right path. The messages from nature often come in moments of stillness. In our busy, noisy world, it can be hard to hear what nature is trying to tell us. By sitting quietly and observing the world around you, you create space for messages to arise. The rustling of leaves, the chirping of birds, or the sound of a flowing stream can offer profound insights if you allow yourself to be still and receptive. Ralph Waldo Emerson, the American transcendentalist philosopher, beautifully stated, "The creation of 1,000 forests is in one acorn." This quote speaks to the infinite potential embedded in even the smallest elements of nature. It reminds us that nature holds profound wisdom, even in its simplest forms, and encourages us to see the sacredness in all things. John Muir, the Scottish-American naturalist, is known for his reverence for nature, often saying, "In every walk with nature one receives far more than he seeks." Muir's words capture the magic of nature's gifts. When we step into the natural world with open hearts and minds, we receive far more than we could ever expect: insight, peace, and a sense of connection that transcends our understanding. The messages from nature are an invitation to reconnect with the earth and listen to the quiet wisdom it offers. As you begin to spend more time outdoors and open yourself to these subtle signs, you'll discover that nature's guidance is always available to you. The animals, the trees, the sky, they all have lessons to impart, helping you align with the natural flow of life and your own spiritual path. By embracing the lessons of nature, you tap into a deeper sense of peace, purpose, and understanding. Nature is a mirror of the soul, offering us constant reminders of our connection to all living things. Trust the signs you receive, for they are part of the universe's way of guiding you toward greater wisdom and fulfillment. Sign 13, Manifestation of Long-Held Desires, the Power of Dreams Coming True. One of the most exhilarating signs of a spiritual breakthrough is the manifestation of long-held desires and goals. After years of striving, visualizing, and working toward a dream, you may begin to notice that the very things you've hoped for are suddenly coming to fruition. This could be a milestone you've been working toward for years, or perhaps receiving something that you had once only imagined. These moments can feel magical, as if the universe has aligned perfectly to make your dreams a reality. Manifestation is not just about the physical appearance of what you've desired, but also about the process of aligning yourself with your highest purpose and trusting that what is meant for you will come in its own time. These manifestations are not mere coincidences, they are signs that you are in harmony with the flow of life, and that your intentions, efforts, and spiritual growth are bearing fruit. It's important to understand that manifestation is not a one-time event, it's a process that happens over time, often gradually. But when your desires start materializing, it's an unmistakable sign that you're on the right path. The universe has been listening, and your efforts, combined with your belief, have brought you to this moment. When your dreams start to take shape, it's a reminder that you have the power to create your reality and that the energy you've put into the world is returning to you in beautiful, tangible ways. There have been numerous individuals who experienced the fulfillment of their long-held desires, often in ways that seemed almost miraculous. One such example is Thomas Edison, the inventor of the electric light bulb. Edison's vision of creating a practical electric light was something he held on to for years. Despite numerous failures and challenges, he never gave up. Finally, after many trials, his invention came to life, revolutionizing the world. Edison's story is a testament to the power of persistence, belief, and the manifestation of a long-held desire. Another inspiring example is the life of J.K. Rowling, author of the Harry Potter series. For years, Rowling dreamed of becoming a writer, but her journey was far from easy. She faced rejection after rejection from publishers, and her personal life was filled with struggles. But Rowling continued to believe in her dream, and eventually, the first Harry Potter book was published. The success that followed changed her life and the literary world forever. Rowling's story shows that the manifestation of our dreams often requires patience, perseverance, and unwavering belief in our own abilities. Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, also exemplified the power of manifestation. Jobs had a vision for creating products that would change the world. Despite numerous setbacks and the eventual firing from the company he founded, he didn't let go of his dream. When he returned to Apple, he led the company to develop groundbreaking products like the iPhone, iPad, and MacBook, reshaping entire industries. Jobs' story shows how a clear vision, combined with hard work and resilience, can bring about the manifestation of a dream on a massive scale. When your dreams start coming true, it's important to pause, reflect, and acknowledge the manifestation. Celebrate these moments as they are not just accomplishments, but signs that you are in alignment with the universe and your soul's purpose. Here are some ways to respond when your long-held desires begin to manifest. Celebrate the moment. When your dreams come to fruition, take the time to celebrate. Whether it's a big milestone or a small step, give yourself credit for the hard work and dedication that led to this moment. It's important to savor these victories and recognize the significance of what you've achieved. Celebrating your manifestations reinforces the positive energy and opens the door for even greater things to come. Gratitude is a powerful force that amplifies positive energy. Take time to thank the universe, your higher self, and the people who have supported you along the way. Recognizing the blessings that have come into your life helps you remain grounded and connected to the source of your manifestations. Gratitude also invites more abundance and aligns you with a frequency of success and fulfillment. Reflect on the steps you took to get to this point. What did you learn along the way? How did your inner growth contribute to the manifestation? Sometimes the greatest gifts are not just the material outcomes, but the wisdom gained through the process. By looking back on your journey, you reinforce the idea that you are capable of manifesting even more of your desires in the future. Trust the process. Even as you celebrate the manifestation of your dreams, it's important to trust that this is just one chapter in your ongoing journey. Continue to hold space for new desires and dreams to emerge. Remember, manifestations often lead to new goals and opportunities. Trust that the universe has more in store for you as you move forward with an open heart and mind. Share your joy. Sharing your success with others can inspire and uplift them. When you share your joy, you encourage others to believe in the possibility of their own dreams coming true. By offering support and encouragement, you help create a ripple effect of positivity and inspiration. Your manifestations may serve as a beacon of hope for others on their own journeys. Mahatma Gandhi once said, "You must be the change you wish to see in the world." This quote speaks to the idea that manifestation begins within. Your inner world, the thoughts, beliefs, and energy you hold, shapes your external reality. When you align your actions and intentions with your desires, the world responds accordingly. Ralph Waldo Emerson also shared, "What you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say." Emerson's words remind us that our actions, combined with our beliefs, create our reality. Manifestation isn't just about wishing for something, it's about aligning your actions with your dreams and making them a reality through persistence and faith. The manifestation of long-held desires is a profound sign of alignment with your purpose and spiritual growth. It is the tangible proof that your inner work, focus, and efforts have created the conditions for your dreams to come true. These moments of manifestation serve as both a reminder of your personal power and an invitation to continue on your path with even more confidence and clarity. When your desires begin to materialize, celebrate them, express gratitude, and trust that the universe is conspiring in your favor. These moments are not just about achieving goals, they are about recognizing that you are the creator of your own reality. By continuing to align your thoughts, energy, and actions with your highest desires, you'll find that more manifestations will follow, creating a life filled with purpose, abundance, and joy. Sign 14, Spiritual Teachers or Guides Appearing, the Arrival of Wisdom. A truly remarkable sign of spiritual awakening is the appearance of spiritual teachers or guides at pivotal moments in your life. These mentors or teachings often arrive when you are ready to receive them, offering guidance, wisdom, and a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. Whether it's meeting a person who inspires and mentors you, finding a book that resonates deeply with your soul, or discovering a course or philosophy that brings clarity, these teachers help light the way forward on your spiritual journey. Spiritual guides, whether human or in the form of teachings, often appear when we are at a crossroads or feeling lost. They provide answers to questions we may not have even known to ask, pointing us toward the next step in our growth. These encounters can feel like divine interventions, an unexpected moment of insight that shifts our perspective and brings profound change. It's important to remember that spiritual teachers come in many forms. They might not always wear the mantle of a guru or a traditional religious figure, but they may appear in the form of a friend, a stranger, a book, or even a certain experience. The key is being open to their wisdom, recognizing them when they come, and allowing their guidance to deepen your understanding of yourself and the world. Throughout history, many individuals have encountered powerful spiritual guides or teachings that profoundly impacted their lives. One of the most famous examples is the story of Socrates, the ancient Greek philosopher. Socrates never wrote down his teachings, but his philosophy and guidance were passed down by his students, like Plato. He often spoke of a divine inner voice, a guide he referred to as his daimonion, which he believed directed him toward truth and wisdom. Socrates' relationship with this inner guide allowed him to question societal norms and seek deeper knowledge. Another contemporary example is Pema Chodron, a Buddhist nun and author who has touched the lives of many through her teachings on mindfulness, compassion, and embracing life's challenges. Chodron's books, including When Things Fall Apart and The Places That Scare You, have served as spiritual guides for individuals seeking peace and insight in their personal struggles. Her teachings have offered solace to those who are going through difficult times, showing how spiritual wisdom can be found in even the most challenging moments of life. When a spiritual teacher or guide enters your life, it's essential to remain open and receptive. The guidance you receive may challenge you to grow in ways you never imagined, but it will always lead you closer to your true self and higher purpose. Here are some ways to respond when spiritual teachers or guides appear. Spiritual teachers and guides often show up when we are ready for a new level of growth. Be open to their wisdom, even if it challenges your current beliefs or comfort zone. Sometimes, the most significant transformations happen when we are willing to embrace new perspectives or teachings, especially when they push us to expand beyond our limitations. Whether you meet a mentor in person or come across a powerful book or course, make the effort to engage with the material fully. Don't just skim the surface, immerse yourself in the teachings, reflect on their meaning, and apply them in your life. The true power of spiritual guidance lies in how it is integrated into your day-to-day actions, thoughts, and decisions. As you explore new teachings, don't be afraid to ask questions. Seek clarity on concepts that may feel unfamiliar or difficult to understand. Spiritual teachers are there to guide you, and sometimes this means you'll need to engage in dialogue, reflect deeply, or challenge old assumptions to make sense of the wisdom being offered. Spiritual teachings aren't just meant to be intellectual exercises, they are meant to be lived. When a new idea or teaching resonates with you, take action on it. If a mentor encourages you to meditate, start a practice. If a book speaks about forgiveness, put it into practice in your life. Action is the bridge between knowledge and transformation. By applying what you learn, you open the door to deeper understanding and spiritual growth. Teachers, books, or experiences often appear at exactly the right time in your life. Trust that these encounters are part of a greater plan for your growth. You may not always understand why something is showing up when it does, but have faith that the universe is guiding you to the next level of your journey. Everything unfolds in its own perfect timing. Whether your spiritual teacher is a physical person or a source of wisdom that you found through a book or experience, honor and respect the guidance you receive. Acknowledging the gifts that come from these mentors deepens your connection to their wisdom and allows you to continue learning and growing. Tenzin Gyatso, the 14th Dalai Lama, shared, "When you talk, you are only repeating what you already know. But if you listen, you may learn something new." This quote encourages us to listen and remain open to the wisdom that spiritual teachers, both old and new, bring into our lives. By being receptive, we create the space for profound growth and transformation. The appearance of spiritual teachers or guides in your life is a powerful sign of your readiness for deeper growth and understanding. These guides can come in many forms: people, books, experiences, or moments of insight, but their purpose is always the same: to help you align with your highest potential and navigate your spiritual journey with wisdom and grace. As you encounter these teachers, remain open, engaged, and willing to integrate their teachings into your life. Embrace the lessons they offer, for they will help you uncover deeper truths and align with your true self. In doing so, you'll find that your path becomes clearer, your spirit more vibrant, and your life more aligned with your soul's purpose. Sign 15, a renewed sense of purpose, discovering your true calling. One of the most profound signs that you are experiencing a spiritual breakthrough is the emergence of a renewed sense of purpose. This is a moment when you suddenly gain clarity about what you are truly meant to do in life, often accompanied by a deep feeling of inner conviction. This newfound purpose feels like a fire that burns brightly within you, a sense that you're not just moving through life aimlessly, but that you have a clear direction and mission. When you experience a renewed sense of purpose, you often feel driven to pursue a specific path or make a meaningful impact. This can manifest in many forms, whether it's a desire to help others, create something innovative, or contribute to a cause that you deeply care about. It is the feeling of having found your why, and it gives you the energy and motivation to move forward with confidence, knowing that you are walking the right path. This renewed sense of purpose is not just a fleeting feeling. It's a deep-rooted knowing that connects you to something greater than yourself, and it can change the way you view your life. You may feel more aligned with your values, more focused in your actions, and more willing to take bold steps in the direction of your dreams. This clarity provides a strong foundation for making decisions and setting goals that reflect your true passions and aspirations. Throughout history, many influential figures experienced a renewed sense of purpose that changed not only their lives but the lives of countless others. Take Marie Curie, for example. In the early 20th century, Curie had a profound sense of purpose in her scientific research. Her dedication to the study of radioactivity, despite facing numerous obstacles as a woman in science, led to groundbreaking discoveries that revolutionized the field of physics and medicine. Her renewed sense of purpose, which transcended her personal challenges, allowed her to impact the world in a way few could have predicted. When you gain clarity about your purpose, take a moment to honor the insight you've received. Recognize that this clarity is a gift, and acknowledge that you are now in alignment with your highest calling. This sense of knowing can be a powerful anchor for your journey. The road to fully realizing your purpose may not always be clear from the start, but taking small, aligned actions can gradually bring your purpose to life. Whether it's signing up for a course, reaching out to others who share your vision, or simply learning more about the path you feel called to follow, each step will help bring your purpose into clearer focus. As you begin to move toward your purpose, obstacles may arise. Remember that setbacks are not signs of failure, but opportunities for growth and refinement. Stay persistent, and trust that each challenge is helping to shape you into the person you are meant to become. Keep your focus on the bigger picture. Believe in yourself, trust in your abilities and the power of your purpose. Doubts will inevitably surface, but when you're driven by a deep sense of purpose, the belief in yourself becomes the fuel that keeps you going. Stand firm in the knowledge that you are walking a path that is uniquely yours. Stay open to change, your purpose may evolve over time as you grow and learn. Be open to the fact that your understanding of your mission may deepen, shift, or expand. Embrace the flow of life, and be willing to adjust course if necessary. Flexibility doesn't mean abandoning your purpose, it means trusting that you are being guided toward an even greater fulfillment of it. Recognizing the signs of spiritual breakthroughs is an invitation to step into a new chapter of your life, one filled with clarity, growth, and profound transformation. As we've explored